Imagine you are 58 years old. You have worked for 30 years. You have paid your taxes. You have saved money. You believed the system would protect you. And then one Monday morning, you walk into your office and HR calls you in. They hand you a paper, and just like that, your career is over. Not because you did something wrong, not because the company is losing money, but because a 24-year-old with an AI tool can now do your job in half the time for half the salary. This is not a movie. This is happening right now across America to millions of people who are between 50 and 65 years old, the exact people who cannot afford to start over. Here is what the data actually shows. According to a recent AARP report, workers over the age of 50 make up nearly 57% of the American workforce. But when layoffs happen, and they are happening, older workers are being cut at a disproportionately higher rate than younger workers. And the reason companies give publicly is always the same: restructuring, automation, efficiency. But what they are really saying is, we can replace you with AI, and we will save money doing it. The problem is not just losing a job. The problem is what happens next. A 58-year-old who loses their job today will take, on average, 35% longer to find new employment compared to someone who is 35. That is not an opinion. That is Bureau of Labor Statistics data. And when they do find a new job, if they find one, they are typically earning 20 to 25% less than what they were making before. Think about what that means for someone who had 7 years left before retirement. Every year of lower income means less money going into their 401k, less money going into savings. And suddenly, the retirement they spent 30 years building starts to fall apart. Not because they made bad decisions, but because the economy changed around them and nobody protected them. AI is not coming. AI is already here. People talk about AI like it is some future problem. It is not. Right now, in 2024, AI is replacing jobs in accounting, in legal research, in customer service, in financial analysis, in medical coding, in HR. Every single field where experience used to be the most valuable thing a worker had. And here is the cruel irony. The fields where older workers are most concentrated are the exact fields AI is disrupting the fastest. White-collar, knowledge-based jobs. The jobs that took 20 years to master. The jobs that paid well. Those are the jobs disappearing first. What ageism looks like in hiring. Now let us add ageism on top of that, because it is not just AI doing the damage. Ageism in American hiring is real, it is documented, and it is illegal, but it happens anyway. Resumes with graduation years from the 1980s get fewer callbacks. LinkedIn profiles that clearly show someone is over 55 get fewer recruiter messages. Companies openly prefer quote-unquote culture fit, which is often just a code word for younger. A 2023 study found that workers over 50 who applied for jobs received 35% fewer interview calls than equally qualified candidates under 40. So you have an older worker who just lost their job to AI automation, now trying to find a new job in a market that does not want to hire them. The math is brutal. The retirement savings crisis. Now let us talk about the actual numbers. The median retirement savings for Americans between 55 and 64 is approximately $134,000. That sounds like a lot until you realize that financial planners recommend having at least 10 to 12 times your annual salary saved before you retire. For someone earning $70,000 a year, that means you need $700,000 to $840,000. Most people in that age group are not even close. And now, with AI layoffs and ageism forcing career disruptions at 55 or 58, people are not just behind on savings, they are going backwards. They are drawing from savings to cover living expenses while they search for work. They are delaying Social Security to try to maximize their benefit. They are making impossible choices. Here is one of the most damaging things that happens when older workers lose their jobs and cannot find new ones. They claim Social Security early. You can start claiming at 62. But if you claim at 62 instead of waiting until 67, you permanently reduce your monthly benefit by up to 30% for the rest of your life. So a person who would have received $2,000 a month at 67 now gets $1,400 a month, every single month until they die. Over a 20-year retirement, that is $144,000 in lost income. Gone. Not because of bad planning, because AI took their job at 59 and they had no other choice. Let us be honest about something. This is not just a personal finance problem. This is a policy failure. The Age Discrimination in Employment Act has existed since 1967. But enforcement is weak. Proving age discrimination in court is extremely difficult, and companies face very little financial consequence for it. Meanwhile, there is no federal reskilling program at scale for workers over 50. There is no meaningful safety net designed for someone who is too young for Medicare, too old to easily retrain, and suddenly without income. The system was not built for this moment, and AI is moving faster than any policy response. If you are between 45 and 60 and you are watching this, here is what actually matters. First, do not wait for the layoff to start thinking about this. Start now. Build skills that complement AI, not compete with it. Prompt engineering, AI tool management, data interpretation. These are skills companies need from experienced workers. Second, max out your 401k contributions while you still have income. Even one extra year of maximum contributions at this stage makes a significant difference. Third, if your company offers a severance package, negotiate it. Most people do not. An employment attorney costs less than you think and can recover significantly more. And fourth, if you are already in this situation, please do not claim Social Security early if you can avoid it. Exhaust every other option first. That 30% permanent reduction will hurt you for decades. Here is the truth. The retirement crisis in America is not coming. It is already here. And it is being accelerated by two forces that most people did not see coming together. Artificial intelligence that is eliminating experienced workers at scale, and a hiring culture that does not want to replace them. The people being hurt the most are not lazy. They are not unprepared. They are the people who did everything right for 30 years and are now watching the rules change in the final quarter. That is not a personal failure. That is a system failing its people. And until policy catches up with technology, the only protection you have is information. So share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because the earlier people understand what is happening, the more time they have to protect themselves.
Hey, if this video gave you something to think about, that's exactly why I make these every single day. Most of this stuff nobody ever teaches you, and I just think that needs to change. So if you got value today, hit subscribe.